to manage their portfolio. And what advice would you give to someone who is just starting out as a new investor?
Okay, so there's kind of two questions there. So I'll go with the first one, or rather the second one, in regards to what advice would I give to somebody who's looking at just starting out. To somebody who's just starting out is to recognize that there are going to be challenges. That's just the way that it is. And I'm sure you would know that as well as a property investor. Sometimes you hear about people who've got like 100 properties or 10 properties or even 5 properties, and you go, wow, I would really love that. And as exciting as that is, that also requires some work. And there is no quick road, but we can certainly accelerate someone's path. The other thing I would say is just start. Actually get in there, do something, and know that sometimes you're going to get it wrong, sometimes you're going to get it right, and that's a part of the process. The other thing that I would say to somebody who is already an investor and already has a portfolio is to really value your time. You know, one of the most precious commodities that we all have, as you know, is our time. And people just end up, you know, getting caught down and bogged down in all the small details of their business. And sometimes they let their property portfolios run them rather than them running their property portfolios.
Great, that's lovely. And I believe you have several properties yourself. Would you like to share with us the type of properties you like to look out for?
Yeah, I would consider myself a small-time property investor. I don't have 100 properties or anything like that. Because number one is I've gotten very clear on what it is that I want out of my life. And for me, the thing that I really love is I like to have a global life. I love to travel around the world. But I most certainly do have some properties in Australia, and I have a property in the UK, and I'm always looking at expanding for sure. What I personally love to do, and this is just my strategy, and I'm really a small-time player in comparison to some other people, is I love to look at properties around the $400,000 mark in Australia, $400,000, $500,000 mark. I love to go in there, give them a great renovation, and I wouldn't say that they're at the top-end renovation, but I love to make them look polished. I like to make them look slick. There's something that I feel a sense of pride in. Of course, I figure out the numbers, I figure out the budget, and I just do them up, and then I either like to flip them or I like to hold on to them for a long-term strategy. So, you know, there are plenty of different strategies out there. You've just got to determine which strategy is right for you and which strategy is important for you.
And one point that you mentioned there, crunching the numbers is the main thing to do, isn't it? It's so important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm kind of a little bit, sometimes I put the emotion to it. I like to do a little bit of the detail. I like it to look good. But some people are like, no, you got to refurb, you got to do this, you got to do that. It's a proper business. And I get that, and that's important. You do need to look at the numbers, you do need to look at the time, you do need to make sure that you've got a great team around you to ensure that you get everything done within the right time. But I also put a little bit of emotion into it as well.